Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So I apologize if my face is not in the camera. I recently got back from Leader Dogs and I want to tell you about it. So, quick backstory. I had a very severe infection around, I guess it was winter 2024. And so both ears, I lost some hearing, lost some balance, and I've been on this whole journey for like a year and a half to figure out what's wrong. And all I got from my answers was that they have no idea. So, they don't know if it's permanent. They don't know if everything's gonna be okay. Like, they have no clue. They can't tell you what's happening. They don't know. So, basically, according to just my subjective experience, so I lost some balance. I'm having some balance issues. Have had them for a while. The world is constantly tilting. So it's like if you were to go on a boat, okay, and like the boat was rocking from left to right constantly. That's what it feels like. Sometimes it changes speed, sometimes it goes slower, a little faster. On occasion it'll go forward and backwards, but most of the time it's left to right. That's never stopped. That's still been going on since 2024. Well, also I started on some hearing loss, and I went to several different doctors and audiologists and ENTs and everything, and I have no hearing loss that they can detect medically. But for me as a blind person, I know I have something wrong because I cannot use echolocation. I have no spatial awareness, and I'm having trouble like functioning in the world because when I go to a restaurant, I can't hear the server or a waiter or waitress saying anything to me. I have no clue what's happening. Like, I'm like, what? Are we sitting down now? Like, I don't know. I have no filter in my brain, so every sound that's like annoying to you is like annoying to me tenfold. So like electricity humming through wires, I can hear motors and appliances. Like when I go to the grocery store, I can hear the fans of the freezers going on. I can hear the cart squeaking. Right now in my house, I can hear a fridge running, and I can hear electricity in my room because I'm charging my umbrella. I can hear the birds outside. There's some birds. That is fairly normal. That's been consistent throughout this whole while. But I cannot hear if someone's like talking to me. Like when I call on the phone, it's hard to hear. I hear the words, I just don't understand what they're saying. They think it's like a processing disorder, but my insurance doesn't cover that. So anyway, currently in the still figuring out stage. Mentally, I haven't really adapted to it. I did experience some more symptoms recently, so I started hearing buzzing in microphones, which I cannot handle. So church is like awful because there's so much buzzing, and like I can hear the electricity moving through the system, like through the sound system and everything. I still go, which is, it's hard. I've tried earplugs, I've done all the things, but it's not working. And currently I have ringing in my ears that is new, and I will lose hearing on occasion for like a minute or so after I hear the ringing. So like the ringing has been going on for a couple of days now. I think I might have went on last week. And it's only at night. I can only hear it at night whenever it's like quiet, you know. But the part that scares me is it started out with these really high-pitched frequencies that I would hear, like a little ringing, kind of like when you shoot a gun, you have that kind of ringing in your ears. And then I would lose my hearing for like a minute, just in one side. It was never both at the same time, just one. It switched sides, though. It was never consistent. And this went on, and I was like, okay, well, I'm really concerned because like that's not normal. You're not supposed to lose your hearing for a minute or two, and then it kind of like fades back in. It doesn't come back quickly. It kind of fades in. Anyway, so I'm trying to figure that out, and I haven't told my my doctors or anything, because like they're just kind of like, you're fine. We don't know what to tell you, you know. But something's wrong. So anyway, so I got tired of it, and I said, you know what, self, I'm gonna apply to Leader Dog. So I went and applied to Leader Dog, and I went to Michigan last week. It was snowing. It's winter, and it was amazing. Like, so I went there for orientation and mobility skills. Mainly it was more confidence. Like, I had the skills to travel. I just had stopped doing the things that I love, like traveling to new places, doing things by myself independently, because like I worry that I'm not going to hear something, or I'm not going to understand what's happening, or it's stressful. Like, it adds an extra layer of stress because I can hear people talking, I just can't hear I don't understand the words a lot of times. So people will think that I'm ignoring them, even though I'm not. Like, I literally my brain can't process they're talking to me. I also started a new physical therapist to get some more vestibular exercises and everything, so I'm working on that. So I figured, what's the best time to apply to Leader Dog? So I applied, I got accepted, and I went last week, and it was like the best week of my life, aside from getting Beacon and aside from getting cane training in 2018. So we got there, and the room was pretty chill. It was like usual. There was Alexa, there was a lamp, there was a TV that I never could turn on because I didn't know how to make it work. There was a lockbox, there was hooks for like harnesses, and they gave us backpacks and water bottles, which is really cool because I didn't have one with me. I had a giant backpack that was like for my brown note and stuff, and I didn't want to carry that around Rochester. And before I went there, I sent them my huge long document that explained what I was dealing with functionally. And I said, I know I don't have a hearing loss medically, but functionally this is impacting my life and I want to deal with that. And so my instructor was very nice. His name was Brad. He was cool. I love Brad. He's like the guy. He was so chill and so professional and like very willing to like meet me where I'm at, and like you don't always get that with people. People are always like, you're fine, and it's like, no, like this is scary. So we worked on different intersections. I learned some new tips about the way that traffic flows. So if you're walking down the street and you are at a curb that may or may not be a street, there's some signs to look for to be able to tell if it's a street or not. And also, if you are at a street and you don't know or are able to hear the parallel traffic, because I can hear the traffic beside me, I just can't tell if it's near or far parallel. So I got some tips on that as well. And then also, we did some route planning. We did some grocery stores, some malls, which I hate malls. I hate grocery stores. I had to order at a bakery place. I ordered some donuts, and I went to a store and ordered some ice cream. It was like an ice cream candy store called Sanders. Y'all should go there. It's Michigan. And I almost cried, you guys, because like it wasn't even that big of a deal that like I was struggling to hear. Like it was just normal. And like in my real life, people are like, oh my gosh, you ignored me. And I'm like, no, I didn't even know you were there. Like I wasn't intentionally ignoring you. So I learned how to advocate for myself, and I think I'm going to go with, hi, I have hearing loss, so if I don't understand you, please repeat yourself, because I don't want to be like, hi, I have potentially vestibular neuritis that is chronic, and I'm also losing my hearing, maybe, but we're not really sure. Like, it's a whole thing. I'm just like, no, I got to get to the point. Even if it's not technically true, it might be true now, who knows, because I am losing some more, as I can tell, like, this week, hearing-wise. But yeah, so I learned how to advocate for myself, and on the phone is definitely a challenge still. Someone had mentioned to me real-time text, so I might look into that. But you guys, like, the best part of the whole week was there were people that I sat next to at my table, okay, and like this one person, like, he had gone blind slowly, his eye condition. I'm not going to say what it is because it's a video. But like he was doing it. He was doing all the things, and like I was just so impressed because he was, he was applying to get a dog, and he actually got a call to get the dog during class, so he's going to get the dog in 2 weeks. Excuse me for 1 second. apologize. Deacon was digging at her belly, so I don't want her to get hot spots. I better cone her. Anyway, so he was like doing all the things, and he got the call to get his dog in a couple weeks, and I'm like so happy because like he said that he was inspired by me, but I'm like, no, sir, like you are one of those people that are like, you're gonna take the world by storm, and like he's really scared, he's more blind than he was. It's slowly going away, his sight. And I'm like, sir, like, you have a lot of strength, sir. Like, I admire that. We had a lot of long talks, and yeah, he's really cool. And then the other person at my table, so they are newer to the whole like cane training and orientation and mobility. So they had to go, one of their big things was stairs, so they had to go up and down the stairs. And so like this person, like they would just go practice their skills whenever there was like not even any training. And I was like, go you, like you're gonna go take the world too, because you're getting that confidence, you're getting that the ability to be independent, and like even if your independence looks a little different from me as a guide dog handler, or whatever, because it's like different from me as in a blind person versus blind person with additional disabilities. Like you can still be independent, there's different methods for being independent, and it might not look the same for all of us. But this person was like doing the stairs, and they were like so excited because they conquered the stairs. Like that's a big thing. Like I don't think that sighted people understand that when you lose your sight as a blind person, like you're literally walking into like open air, hoping that there'll be a step below you or above you. Like you don't know, like your foot's just hanging out there in the air, and you're like, okay, maybe there's a stair there, maybe there's not. Like how do I know? It's like a big trust thing, so like I wouldn't recommend doing this independently if you're not blind. But like if you were to blindfold yourself, and if you had a cane, or if you have a person that can assist you, if you go up and down the stairs under blindfold, you'll see what I'm talking about. Like you don't know where you're walking, and it's scary, So that was really cool. And then the other person at my table, they're deafblind, and so that's really cool because I learned a little bit of sign language. Beacon and I both got sign names, which is really cool because I've never had one, and I was like, awesome. And like, oh my gosh, you guys, like I was about to cry because like this person is deafblind, and like they're doing all the things, like they're going out traveling, and they recently got accepted for a dog, and like they're doing all the things. And I just think to myself, if you ever lose your hearing completely, they're making it. Like they're doing all the things. They're married and everything. They have like their own house, and they have all these things, going for them in their life. And I'm just like, man, like, yes, like meet these people. Like these are the people that I was supposed to meet last week. It was, oh my gosh, you guys, like I can't even explain the words. Like it was just the best thing in my life. Just to be reminded that like, no matter what happens, there's always ways to navigate the world. And like, I knew that on a practical level, deafblind people and people with multiple disabilities, including blindness, are able to function independently. But like meeting people that were actually doing it on a daily basis, and I got to sit down and talk to them for long periods of time independently. Like, I mean, sometimes we used interpreters, like it depended on who was talking, but it's just like, oh my gosh, like it's like this whole world of like possibilities opened up. And so I haven't really mentally processed it all because it was so much, but like I felt like I could breathe for the first time in 15 months. Like I feel like I could say with confidence that I would be okay physically. It might be challenging. It might be a struggle, but I'm not ready to give up on my life, And so like that was a big thing. A big theme for me was like hold on, don't give up yet. Excuse me. So then, when I was leaving, I was flying through Atlanta, which was insane because there was a storm and it was like crazy. But the airplane hurt my ears so bad, I thought I was gonna like cry. Like my head was like pounding because of the pressure, and I couldn't equalize the pressure in my ears, so it felt like awful. It was so painful. But we made it, which is good. And I think the most important part of the whole week, mentally for me, not only the whole part of like Beacon getting to see our puppy, or our guide dog trainer, sorry. Puppy raisers were not there, but they were texting me. Beacon got to see our trainer, Eric, and I got to see Eric, and it was so cool because like she remembered him and her tail was just like wagging, and she was like, oh my gosh, it's Eric, like hello. And I was so like impressed, honestly. Like Leader Dog is like the place that I feel like I am learning to become this new version of myself, if that makes sense. So like they've been there for me with Beacon and with, you know, my cane training, and they came over the summer to work with me in Beacon and my cane, and now I went back, and you know, now we're doing okay. But it was just like Leader Dog is the place where I feel like I can be myself fully. Like I can run into a wall hard and no one will say anything because like that's normal, you know, people run into walls. Or I can like really awful cut up my steak to where it's like this weird shape that doesn't even make sense, and like it's half of it's cut and half of it's not, kind of thing. And no one's gonna be like, oh my gosh, look at that steak, it's not cut very well. Or you know, I could ask for like assistance without it being weird. Like I could be like, hey, I'm looking for insert whatever, can you help me find it? Or I'm a little bit disoriented, can you help me find where I'm supposed to be? And like they don't get offended or annoyed. Like that's incredible. Like I want to take them home with me, because I was free to be myself, and I haven't had that freedom in a long time, where I could be solely just like honest with people that I'm mentally not doing 100%, and it wasn't the end of the world. So that's something I'm going to explore in my therapy, is the whole like mental adaptation of this, because physically I think the skills part was good because I learned how to you know, do all the things that I've been avoiding. But mentally it's the effect of isolation and just like unemployment and the whole like job searching and just being a unicorn in a horse barn, basically, because I feel like I'm the only unicorn in this whole place. And I think that's partially from my age and just who I am as a person, but also like there's no other guide dog handlers like in my area, and it just feels really lonely sometimes. And like having Beacon react to another dog, a Leader Dog, was like incredible because no one said anything. Like they were like, it's okay, and I was like, for real? Like for real, you mean that? Because like at home, people would be like, oh my gosh, that dog reacted, it should not be a guide dog, we should do this, or you should retire her, or just like on and on and on, and that didn't happen. So yeah, so if you're blind, you're out there, you're watching this, and you would like to get some more cane training, or, you know, guide dog, or just honestly have someone to talk to about these things, like call Leader Dog, email Leader Dog, text them, any of those things. We have support groups, we have like peer groups, we have alumni calls and everything that do every month, and it's just so like peaceful, I guess. I don't know what the right word is, but it feels like peace when I'm with people that get it. I don't have to do any extra work. I don't have to pretend like I got my stuff together. Like I can just be myself, and that doesn't come often. So if you would like help with any of this stuff, or you are struggling, definitely reach out to them. They will help you as much as they can. they don't make you feel stupid. That's a big one, because a lot of blindness places make you feel like you're stupid if you don't know how to do a certain skill, or that you're like inferior to every blind person ever in America / the world because you don't know how to cut up a steak, or you don't know how to salt I don't know, something, or butter bread. I never figured out how to butter bread. Mainly because I don't eat buttered bread, but if I did, I guess I could figure it out. But so definitely reach out to them. It can help. I think that the most challenging part of the week was they had a self-defense class, and honestly, looking back, I'm glad I went, but also I'm like, I should not have gone. Like, it was good. It was good. Like, the guy that was instructing, he's visually impaired, and it was very respectful touching, which was great. But physically, before that and afterwards, I felt like I was overly triggered. My PTSD brain was like, hey, guess what? You're gonna feel all these things tonight. And I was like, I want to go to sleep. It was challenging, and I was like shaking before I even walked in the room because I was just like so nervous and terrified because I knew that it would be hard. But having that experience where touch is done in a safe, respectful way, where you're not required to, touch someone's shoulder or, feel their arms and see what they're doing. And they ask for permission to touch you first. They don't just do it. That was amazing. I want that so bad for myself because I still struggle with that. It's been almost 5 years since my assault, and I still struggle with the whole physical touch. And I thought I was okay, but being at Leader Dogs, where there was a deafblind person who was using ProTactile, which is like a deafblind thing, and it's its own like, I don't want to say like dialect, because it's not really a dialect. It's like its own method of communication, if that makes sense. So there's still ASL, there's still tactile sign language, just like it's a whole different way of communicating. Because like if you're deafblind, you don't have the whole like I'm smiling or I'm frowning. You don't have all the facial expressions. So like you're showing that on someone's body by like demonstrating the emotions or the feelings. So one of the things was that when you leave the room or you say bye, you go up and you kind of like gently rub the upper arm, like shoulder to about halfway to the elbow, roughly. Like firm strokes so they can feel it, and you know that's how you say that you're leaving, like bye. And it was incredibly awesome to me because like I didn't flinch. Like that's the first time in a long time that I have been in a room with people, and mostly men were at my table. My instructor was also male, and there was a lot of people there, a lot of males there. And I wasn't terrified, and I wasn't like freaking out internally, while outside I was fine. Like it was totally, both parts of me were equal. Like inside was calm, outside was calm. And like having that kind of safe like communication that involved touching was like awesome. So just wanted to update you all on the whole adventure with Leader Dogs and everything. And yeah, I mean, I still struggle with physical touch and even like relationships. Like I don't want a boyfriend at this moment in my life. I don't know if I ever will. I hope so. That'd be nice. But knowing that I can experience these things and like feeling safe around people that I literally just met that are like random guys, like that's incredible. I very rarely had that in these past 5 years, and like, I don't know, guys, like it was awesome. We learned about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I really want to take some more classes because it's the whole understanding that touch is not forced upon another person. It's respectfully requested or denied. No means no, and you don't have to touch or be touched by someone else if you don't feel comfortable. So I would like to explore that more because I'm really curious if that would help me with some of my whole like trauma in my body, because like mentally I'm doing decently well. I'm not suicidal, but I still hold a lot of that trauma in my body, and just having that safe, respectful touch where I can set boundaries and they will be respected, and I can get my confidence and even be able to like defend myself against people that are like, 200 pounds or 150 pounds. Like that would be wonderful. Because a big part of my struggle has been about personal safety and the fear. I have been really afraid of relationships and feeling very unsafe in public if I don't have beacon or my knife. I just, personal safety has been a big struggle. And I did deal with some of that this week. I think that's why it's so hard to explain, because like I didn't have beacon. I had my cane and myself. I didn't have my phone because my phone, I couldn't hear it because it was, we're outside. And I didn't die. And like, it was okay. And I got lost and I got turned around. And one time I ended up in the middle of the street and I veered and I was walking like a ping pong ball on the sidewalk because my instructor said that veering is not something we can fix. So we're just going to live with it. And I was like, thank you. So I still don't walk a straight line. I still don't hear echoes. I don't hear space around me. I did notice that if I focus on an objective when I go in somewhere, to a store or somewhere like a lot of overwhelming noise, I'm able to advocate for myself and ask for a quiet place, or ask for someone to repeat something, or even just like focus on something else that my brain is, like right now I can hear a fridge when I'm focusing on this video. I went to the grocery store with my instructor and he gave me meta classes. Highly recommend those. They're awesome. It was wonderful. So I'm going to do some more videos on those and like see how they work. I'm still trying to figure out how to make them fit my face because they're just too large. But I got my own pair and I'm so excited because like I want to try them and I want to see if I can see birds, because I love birds. They're my favorite. And I want to see if I can go outside, in my yard and just like sit there and like see if I can see the birds through the glasses. That'd be like super cool. So anyway, hope you are well. Thank y'all for watching again. I appreciate it. And feel free to leave a comment, leave a question. Follow me on my social media if you want to. This is pretty much, YouTube is where I get real. Facebook is kind of just like my everyday, like whatever. But if this video reaches someone and helps them, that's good enough for me. I started with 2 viewers and I don't know how many I'm up to now, but I know my channel is not as famous as like Molly Burke or Joy Ross or any of those other blind people, which is fine. That's not my goal. But being open about PTSD and trauma and sexual assault and all that stuff, like, is how I choose to make my channel, because I want to reflect the honest things that are going on and, just discuss them, how they affect me, and, if I can help someone else along the way, that's good, because I wish I had these for myself. Like, if I was experiencing all this and I didn't have videos, I would want the thing that I'm making so I could look on YouTube and type in blindness plus PTSD or blindness plus whatever, and I would get, advice basically, or information, because there's not a lot out there. Like, there's hardly anything out there about vestibular issues with blindness. Like, there's hardly anything out there about physically recovering from assault while you also have a disability, all that. So that's why I make these videos, that's why I create them, and that's why I post them. So if you would like to, want some information posted or just have some ideas, comment those. I can try my best. I don't have any kind of professional setup. It's literally just me with my phone on a table with my water bottle as the thing that holds up my phone. So thank you for watching again. I appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video.